Welcome to your Inspirational Astrology horoscope for Monday, September 30th, 2013. I am astrologer David Palmer, the Leo King, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. What's cracking, guys? I'm talking to you from the Colorado River. I'm on the California and Arizona border, and I got my new Twerktober webinar. That's right, the October webinar turned into Twerktober. You know, actually, one of the people in the chat room brought up the whole Twerktober thing, and somehow Miley Cyrus and all this energy that we're going through turns into understanding how to follow your October. So I ask you to check it out. The download is now available, and it's really awesome to really look into this. I think you'll trip out when you start to see how Miley Cyrus and this whole twerking thing could really apply to your own life in making sure you're twerking your life correctly. Now, here we are on Monday leading into a crazy week. We've got the Sun, which is going to square Pluto. We've got the Sun, which is going to oppose Uranus this week. This is a big T-square forming, and this is pressure. You know, I am the T-square man. I love T-squares. No, I don't have one in my chart, but I just love the way that a T-square, really makes us take action in our life, step over our fears, maybe puts us into the pressure situations we need in our life. And usually when all these squares and oppositions happen and this intense energy comes, it's usually a dynamic week. One to remember, one where very powerful circumstances happen. And today on Monday, we have the moon still in Leo, which is going to conjunct Mars, which this is strong energy emotionally, especially because this is the last time the moon is going to tap over Mars in Leo. So this is a fired up energy in our lives, and it really goes well with the Libra energy. This is a love kind of energy, a good feeling. But as this tension is starting to build on the horizon in the next couple days, I think it's important for us to pay attention today to our heart's desires, as it is squaring all this Venus energy in our truth, in Scorpio. No more can we be aligned with emotions anymore that are not driving for what we love, based off not being anchored in this truth and valuing aspects of our life, manifesting aspects of our life that are not based off what we truly desire in our life. Our heart and our desires actually can be different, and I don't want to go into it, maybe I should, in many ways you could connect with somebody that you don't love. Now, of course, I'm one to share love. I'm a Leo and I love the love. It's interesting when it comes down to Scorpio, it just comes down to connection to truth. And sometimes truth can hurt happiness or love. The death of a loved one can really hurt the way that happiness can feel. And that's a good example of how inside in our lives, sometimes in order to be happy, we've got to find it in ourselves. And we're at a really weird tipping point in our lives as the universe is about to really rebalance our lives in these extreme new ways based off destiny, based off this new reinvention in yourself. And in many ways, this is a Saturn-Uranus quincunx starting to form this week. And it's happening here in the next couple days. And so this week also is looking at your identity. And so I think this is the one week and the one, aspect of our lives that is about to be completely changed, which is to make sure that we're stepping into the right persona based off the new circumstances the universe has brought us in the last couple weeks here, and to make sure that we're aligning more correctly with this unique aspect of ourselves. And this is a final adjustment that you don't want to come across as a person that doesn't really harbor what you really are on the inside, that the inner outer work now is really starting to come out in our lives. And this week could be pressure if you're not willing to accept the change in your life, because this is about accepting of change. And in many ways today, this is also Mercury now in Scorpio, which starts to trine over to Neptune. So the signs are right in front of you. You know what this truth is. And I think that your mind has to wrap around this. And by your mind, by your value systems, by the work that you're putting into your life, being based more off this truth, basing more off what you really desire in your life, can actually be the ingredient to make you more happy. But the truth can hurt. And the truth can hurt that you're not in that space. And that can cause today frustrations, that the values or maybe some of the energy that you're trying to manifest, or even more importantly, relationships in your life that you know are not what you should be in, or blocking you in some sort of way from your happiness. And that can be, you know, the dark queen kind of energy too, or the dark king. This is that Leo, Scorpio, intense, the war king coming out of our lives, this anger coming up. And if you're not in that energy, on the other hand, this can also be the energy to act now towards more what will make you happy, but not forgetting about what really is the truth in your life or what you truly desire inside. And Mercury today helps with that, as you're going to see this more intense action of the mind start to come into our lives. We've got Saturn in the North Node, which are starting to finally split. So the concrete has pretty much almost finished its pouring and drying. There's a couple last tweaks to make in aligning to your truth right now. And it's that identity, which we'll step more into this week, that I believe is going to start to come out more based off this truth. And more importantly, you not being afraid anymore, which is going to be this week of remembering that God's got your back. Pluto and Saturn are a perfect sextile, so there's nothing to worry about. There's this invisible bridge from the universe, or I describe it in the webinar. Well, check out the webinar because we talk about in there what this support system is in place for us right now. And I go deeper into that in the webinar. But remember, there's support. Remember that this is your own fears. And in many ways, to find harmony in your life, a new plan must be in place, and more importantly, a correct identity and correct relationships and correct value systems to manifest more of the life that you need to be in. And I think that the happiness that comes out of this can only come if you're really living in that truth and that energy. So I hope you guys check out the webinar. And, you know, I am leaving on October 21st. So I have some slots left for readings, but I'm quitting on October 21st because I'm out of town for a week and a half. And that I won't start readings back up until November. So if you want a personal reading, I'm taking my last bookings right now. I'm filling up quick. I've got like a week and a half left of bookings left. So if you want to book a reading with me, check out my website, inclusiveastrology.com. Or if you want to get the webinar, which goes into the whole month, and it's so crazy, it's Twerktober. If you want to have a good laugh, but more importantly, if you want to have your mind blown a little bit, check out Twerktober. It's all on inclusiveastrology.com. Thank you guys for all your support. I hope you guys check out the weekly horoscopes. I got all those up, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow.